couldn't decide. It's too hard. So this video is mostly me signing because I have a story behind the name. So I'm gonna start from a different story, but don't worry, it all connects and it makes sense, so bear with me. So before we, go ahead, do you want popcorn? Those are my apples. Don't eat my apples. You can have it if you want. So before I found out we were pregnant, we had tried for a few months before, and every time we would try, I would always test early to see if I was pregnant, but I realized I should probably wait to have symptoms or miss a period because I'm just wasting all the pregnancy tests. So I remember for July, I told myself, okay, I'm not gonna test until I actually have symptoms or until I miss my period or something. And so I remember when July came about and I was like, I think 4, maybe 5 days away from starting my period, but I was already like, oh, I really want to test. But I kept telling myself, no, I'm not going to test. Plus, I didn't want him to know either because I wanted to find out I'm pregnant myself so I can surprise him. So it was hard. I had to like keep it a secret and not seem nervous or anything like that. And so I remember I was leaving my work one day at Sorensen, VRS interpreting, and there was a box on the table near the door from Target. And so I went back to my boss's office and I asked her, I said, why is there a Target box in the room? And she had told me that Target accidentally sent us a box, but they didn't want us to return it back so we could just keep it. So I looked in the box and there was a few like maternity bras and then they had a swimsuit. So I asked my boss, I said, can I have the swimsuit? She was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I didn't want the maternity bras, I don't know why. And so I brought the swimsuit home and I tried it on and I realized it was a maternity swimsuit. So I told myself, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a sign I'm pregnant. I know it, just wait. I'm gonna test in a few days. So I felt like it was like this special moment, like keep waiting, but God was telling me, now you're actually pregnant. So we had this like little special moment, which I really liked. So the second story is in regards to finding out if we're having a boy or a girl. I remember we had the envelope like 2 months before we had our party, and he had told me that we're not going to open it together. We're going to find out with all the other people, even though I really wanted to know, just us two, but he was like, no. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to know now. I know it doesn't matter, but still. So I remember I would like pick at the tape, but I knew, I was like, if I open this, I couldn't keep it in to myself, and then he would just be so hurt, right, if I found out on my own. So I was patient and I waited, but about a month before our party, I remember I was driving on the freeway and I was praying. I was telling God, like, I know it doesn't matter if we're having a boy or a girl, either way I'm gonna be happy, but I was so anxious, like I wanted to know, I wanted to start envisioning. I hadn't yet really felt connected to the baby, so I was thinking maybe if I know if it's a boy or a girl, I'll feel more connected, I don't know. So I was like praying for God, I'm like, give me a sign, like which, is it a boy or a girl? And then all of a sudden, I saw pink paint all over the freeway, and immediately I was like, oh my gosh, that's God telling us we're having a girl, and it was just me in the car. And so I'm like, then after that I told everyone, we're having a girl, and they said, you opened it? I said, no, God told me. And everyone was laughing, kind of like mocking me, like, okay, whatever. And I would tell like my co-workers, like, watch, we're gonna have a girl, just watch. But inside I was like worried because I'm like, if it's not a girl, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. Like, it'll be so embarrassed. I'm like, please be a girl, please be a girl. And then it actually happened to be a girl, and I was like, see, I told you, I saw pink paint on the freeway. Which is interesting. A lot of you have watched our other video, our baby reveal, finding out if we're having a boy or girl. And there's a part in that video where I say, oh, I saw pink paint on the freeway. That's what that's about. So I knew, kind of, before everyone else that we were having a girl because God had told me. And so the third story with the name, I remember it was right before Christmas. We'd already posted our video on YouTube about some of the options we liked. What was your favorite name again? Madison, yeah. Nora. Yeah, I can't remember the third one either. But I didn't feel connected with any of the names, and I thought for sure that, like, yeah. But I don't know, I wasn't fond of it. It wasn't my preferred name. I don't know, I wasn't connected with it. And so I remember thinking, like, I don't know if I'll know until she's born, but I don't want to wait because I honestly believe that we're going to argue about it in the hospital. And my mom was like, no, you'll be fine. Zach, after he sees you in labor and give birth, he'll let you have whatever name you want. I said, Mom, you're stubborn, right? He would not. We would argue, you think? And so I remember one day I was driving, it was in December right before Christmas, and I was driving by myself to my friend, her in-law's house, and it was in Pasadena. So I'm driving and I'm praying again with God. I'm like, okay, God, these two moments were really special. Like, you told me that I was pregnant before I knew I was actually pregnant. You told me we were having a girl before we knew we were actually having a girl. Now I'm gonna need you to tell me what name to pick because I can't decide, and I don't know her, but you do. You're designing her, forming her. Help me decide on a name. Give me a sign, make it clear. Help me to know that when I see it, that that's from you. It doesn't have to be now, it could be later. It doesn't have to be a name on the list, but tell me. And it was so funny, as like literally as soon as I was done praying, I had arrived at a stop sign and I looked up, and you know what the street name was? Madison. Really? Madison, that was the name? And so then I felt like, okay, is that from you, or is that just like this ironic thing that's happening? I don't know about that name, but at that moment, at the same time, I felt like, okay, that seems pretty clear. I think we need to pick that name. What are the odds of that happening? Right, yeah. And his favorite name, everything. Yeah. So then I was still, I don't know, we'll see. So I arrived at their home and they asked me what I want to eat. And I told them I was craving for BLT. So then I got in their car and we drove to some restaurant, and the street name before the restaurant again was Madison. So at that point, I'm like, okay, fine, you win. The name is Madison. I remember I called you, and I was kind of like, I was kind of getting teary-eyed a little bit because I felt like, even though that wasn't my first choice in the beginning, at that moment, I felt like this is going to be her name. Like, this is from God. And so I called him, and I said, the first thing I said was, you win. He's like, what? I'm like, you win. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, her name can be Madison. He was like, really? What made you decide? I said, oh, well, God forced it on me. He just started laughing. And then I told him the story, and he was just shocked. Like, wow, that's crazy. So now her name is officially Madison Jane Lotane. but I'm not sure what I'm gonna call her. If I'm gonna call her Maddie or Madison Jane or MJ or just Madison. I don't know. No, your mom says Maddie Jane. Yeah. You're set on Madison only. But I think a lot of people that we've told, like our friends and family, really like MJ. But I don't like the name sign MJ. I don't like that. I don't know. It's too simple. So we'll have to think. What was that? Oh, Michael Jackson, yeah. Thriller. Yeah, I think it's like this or something. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. So now we'll have to think of her. Yeah. So now when she's born, we'll have to think of a name sign for her, but I don't know. We'll see. That's another decision we have to make. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm excited. I feel like I've fallen in love with her name more and more. Yeah. Are you happy? How did you feel when I called you? You really think I'll change my mind now? No, that's you. That's your tendency. You're always changing things. Yeah. For a while I was still a little hesitant, maybe Nora, but now I've fallen in love with Madison Jane. So that's her name. If we have a second daughter, maybe. If we have a second kid, who knows? If we have a boy, I don't know. Anyways, though, makes me happy to know that we have a name now. Yeah. Thanks for watching.